So a number of people have said it, that Captain America Brave New World feels like three different movies spliced together into one. Obviously, it was reshot quite extensively and reworked, re-edited, and a lot of story elements changed and characters were removed. And so it's interesting to consider what the film would have been like had it not have undergone extensive changes. We're going to look into that today. This article is from comicbookmovie.com. The article is linked below for you to check out. Captain America Brave New World pre-reshoots details reveal Red Hulk's original fate and more. Spoilers. And it says, much has been said about Captain America Brave New World's reshoots, and depending on who you believe, they were either extensive or just the norm for Marvel Studios. Something we can safely say is that the movie underwent some significant changes. That's evident from the Serpent Society being cut and replaced by Giancarlo Esposito's Sidewinder, the leader of the power-free Serpents, and let us not forget the leader's divisive new look. Indeed, no one can say that the film wasn't heavily reworked when the principal bad guys of the movie were removed and replaced with, Sidewinder has a more of a henchman role for leader. So that was an enormous reconfiguration of the film. It says, now a new leak claims to reveal what Captain America Brave New World looked like before the reshoots. We're unsure how much of this was shot or how accurate a few of the claims are, but much of it lines up with what we've been hearing. So at number 6, Team Cap versus the Serpent Society. Set photos confirmed that Captain America was once set to battle a superpowered Serpent Society. According to this leak, Sam Wilson led the Falcon and a suited up Isaiah Bradley. Okay, so Isaiah Bradley doesn't suit up in the final version of the film, but apparently originally he did. And so they battled against the villains. Similar to what we saw in the finished cut, the mission was to retrieve stolen adamantium, and the confrontation was seemingly going to culminate with Cap and Jackman Torres taking on Diamondback. Promo art has shown Isaiah in costume, and had he helped recover the stolen metal, it would make sense for him to be invited to the White House before succumbing to the leader's brainwashing. Indeed. Instead, Isaiah, I feel his role is more about, yes, he was used, he's brainwashed. He was used by leader in the failed assassination attempt. But I think as well, he functioned as a contrast in physical strength to Captain America, because for so much of the film, Sam Wilson is, seemingly just as strong as the Cap was, right? So it's quite interesting. I know he obviously has a lot of special tech helping him out, but he serves, Isaiah Bradley just serves really as a contrast in terms of physical strength to show you where Sam would be up against someone who had taken the super serum, which Sam should have taken. They try to make a lot of excuses for why he didn't, and why he's just a very strong man as opposed to a super soldier, but he should have taken it. Number 5, a very different Ruth. Captain America Brave New World producer Nate Moore has claimed that the decision was made early on to ditch Ruth Bat Seraph's Sabra's mutant powers from the comics. This new intel somewhat contradicts that. Apparently Ruth would be shown totaling a car with her shoulder while chasing down the brainwashed Isaiah. Her story arc also differed after she acknowledged the super soldier's innocence after telling Sam about where she gained her abilities. Yes, so apparently she was a Red Room Black Widow. And also says that basically Bucky Barnes wasn't going to be in the movie. And, the film was, I think, originally supposed to come out before. So this is here. Unsurprisingly, Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes was not in Captain America Brave New World's original cut. So he does have a cameo in the final version. That's because Thunderbolts was supposed to be released before this movie, only for 2023 strikes to screw everything up. And as you can see from this image here, which is, I guess, from the trailers for Thunderbolts, if you've seen, this is Bucky's look in the Thunderbolts. Whereas in Brave New World, he doesn't look like this. He's a political candidate. He's running to be a congressman. He doesn't look like he's a politician in this image, certainly. And this is based after Brave New World. So, number 3, the leader's original plan. As we've already explained, the leader was indeed meant to have a design far closer to what we're used to seeing in the comics. So his design was going to be different. I won't dwell too much on that. Number 2, Red Hulk's fate. The original Captain America versus Red Hulk battle was allegedly deemed less realistic because Sam Wilson withstood a few too many hits from the rampaging commander-in-chief. If this leak is to be believed, late in the battle, Cap was going to remember that adamantium can absorb gamma, and so Ruth brought him the canister retrieved from the Serpent Society. Using that on Red Hulk's open wounds, the villain is depowered, but Ross' heart appears to stop and he dies. And then there's a post-credit scene. It says, there are big gaps in this Captain America Brave New World leak, including who and why fakes Ross's death. So there's a post-credit scene where he goes to Betty's home on a rainy night with scorched footprints leading up to her door. With that, lightning would have lit up the sky, showing Red Hulk's silhouette and glowing red eyes, only for him to have vanished on the second flash. This is intriguing on several levels, but means Ross would have never been held accountable for his actions, lest the leader was the one true villain and he was an innocent bystander of sorts. So it is, and yeah, there's also a bit in there about another post-credit scene regarding Japan figuring out how to synthesize adamantium in liquid form. So yeah, it's it's easy to kind of say, hey, this would have sounded kind of better than what we got, but I don't think any of these story beats are necessarily bad. I do prefer Isaiah Bradley's original story, though. It's not even to say that the story beats we got in the final version were bad. It's all ultimately about quality of execution. Was the quality of execution on these various plot points, was it going to be there? And evidently it was felt that the Serpent Society were not going to be as strong of villains as we ended up getting. That's basically an ensemble of bad guys. And instead, they decided to make it all more concise by just having Giancarlo Esposito, a Sidewinder, essentially functioning in that role, right? Because he just really delivers a bunch of exposition that Captain America needs in order to further his investigation. And really, that's where it goes. So let me know your thoughts, guys, on these original plans for Brave New World. Again, there's no way of knowing unless we saw 2 different cuts of the film, which was going to be better. But I have to give the filmmakers a break here. If they felt that this stuff wasn't working, it's more than likely that what we ended up getting was probably better. It's easy to read this stuff and go, that might have been interesting. But yeah, I think the film works. It's just not a particularly strong entry in the franchise. And as I said before, I don't really think it's worth paying money to see the film in the cinema, and that's really, really key. If it was on television, though, I'd probably watch it again if there was nothing else on. I don't think it's egregiously bad, but to me, it's like a 5.5 out of 10. But anyway, some people think that I'm being generous there with that score. Anyway, those are my thoughts, guys, and I'll leave this article from comicbookmovie.com linked below. Be sure to subscribe for more. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.